Well, I do. I tell you, this has been really an exciting time for us as far as our recruiting class is concerned. First of all, I'd like to make a statement. I want to welcome newest signee on our coaching staff, Tony Jeffrey. And Tony's coming back from the University of Houston. He finally got it right. Came back home where he's supposed to be. I've never been in a place where they invited me back, so I think that says a lot about you, Tony. But it's a great addition to our staff, and he's got some really, I think, good young wide receivers to coach, and I think he's excited to be here. We're excited to have him back. You got a son too that I'll be recruiting someday. How was Justice?
6.
He's 6, so we'll get an early start with Justice, but great to have Tony back. This class overall, I tell you, is probably, and without a doubt, you'll see more size and speed than we've had. I looked at the video again, the highlights of the recruits. It's an exciting group. There's some game breakers there. We've got definitely some size advantages that we haven't had before, and it's just an exciting group. And I want to just say this about, I'm going to say about the coaches. Coaches did a fantastic job. Most of you kind of know how hard it is. It's extremely tough, and they're on the road. Sometimes they get speeding tickets. Isn't that right, Coach Popovich? Is he here? Sometimes they do. But the point being is they did a terrific job. And I'll tell you, a lot of this recruiting stuff is about relationships. And I'll tell you, the relationships these coaches have with the high school coaches, these recruits. You know, I go in there. It's easy for me. I go in and say, well, Coach So-and-so's done a great job here. He's been here. He's been thorough. He's been with my players. And man, he can come back here anytime he wants to. That says a lot. That says a lot. It says a lot about our university. It says a lot about our coaching staff. They just did a fantastic job evaluating and getting good players. And I would tell you, it's tougher. It's getting tougher because our schedule's tougher, and we're recruiting better players. So when you recruit better players, there's more competition to be recruited. So they did a fantastic job. And also, our entire university, our academics, Coach Dudley in the strength room, Coach Roost in strength room, also Coach Dudley, and also you know, Lynn was there every weekend with our players, connected well with the mothers and kids, and just they say it takes a village. This was a village, and we did a great job. We appreciate all the help we had. We feel like we addressed offense and defense. Got some quality in both areas. We want to recruit Texas, and we have 26 players from the state of Texas. We're pleased about that. We think really good players. 13 are enrolled now for spring. So again, that's kind of exciting for us. I'm just going to touch briefly, and you've got the biographies on the kids. You can go through those. If you have questions, you can ask later. But you know, just some of the kids we've signed. Jess Andrews, running back from Toledo High School. Jess, I think, won 2 state championships, back-to-back state championships. Carl Austin is a safety. Balin Baker, defensive tackle. Balin was actually tight end and defensive end, and they moved to defensive tackle. And that's kind of the guys you like. Got athleticism, got speed, and those things, and do a great job as far as being able to move. Mikhail Bass, Mikhail's here with us now. He's a linebacker, which we definitely needed. Shane Block, Shane from Yukon, Oklahoma. Shane was coached by a former coach I worked with, the former defensive coordinator at Ohio State. We moved together there. Shane was Bill Young. Bill was a high school coach at Yukon High School in Oklahoma. And we've recruited Shane. We think really a good signee there. As you'll notice the size, we got some really, really big kids, and that's a good thing for us. And also, they can move. Joseph Brooks, defensive tackle, is here now from San Angelo. Jacoby Butler, cornerback. Jacoby from Pearland. Gabe Casillas, Gabe's a junior college player. Gabe is an offensive tackle, and again, gets a little more age and seasoning, and he has just done a fantastic job while he's been around. A good recruiter for us, and I think he'll be an excellent prospect. Danon Cavill. Danon he's a personality, quite a personality. He's guys you really like to be around. Danon was from Madison High School, was assigned to the University of Oklahoma, played there, and now he's transferred back here. So we think we have a good one in Danon. He's got size 6'4", 215. We got some small guys that are very quick and fast. Danon is that big guy, and he's going to be a good one. Some wide receivers again, Derek Dick from College Station, Daryl Godfrey is a safety, Matthew Guidry, wide receiver, Peyton Hall from here in the city. I saw Peyton play on Thursday night, and he's a terrific player. He's just an exciting wide receiver, very difficult to cover. We're excited to have him. Manny Harris, an interesting story. Manny's from Killeen, Texas, same high school that RG3 played at, and broke all of RG3's records. and that's a junior. And just a fantastic prospect. His dad made terrific ribs. Coach Eliano had some great ribs at the house. I knew that was a good deal because I tell you what I've done. I recruited a guy named C.J. Spiller. If you don't remember him, went to Clemson. His dad recruited me. He said, Coach, said, you come here, hey, I'm gonna fix you the best ribs and barbecue. My barbecue's the best. I go into the house, and we had Kentucky Fried Chicken. I knew then we were in trouble. He went to Clemson, had a great career at Clemson. So Manny is just a terrific prospect and very mature young man, and it's going to be, I think, outstanding for us as a quarterback. And guys, if you look at these games, some of these games that you saw in the final games, something was very, very, very familiar. And that was all these teams had outstanding quarterbacks. You think about the guys in the finals of the football, the finals of the NFL, and you don't say, well, it's the NFL. But not all NFL teams have great quarterbacks, and I think that was the key that you saw in this game. DeCredius Henry, defensive end, Avery Jackson, cornerback, Ja'Cory Jones, cornerback. Ben Kane's here now. He's from junior college. TJ King. TJ's a defensive end, and TJ committed to us last night about 10:30. He's had a lot of places he could have gone, and called me last night on the phone, says, Coach, I'm coming. And that was a good one because his family, had a lot of family in Louisiana, and TJ wanted to come here. Family wanted to go to Louisiana, which we can understand that. And called and came, wanted to come here, and just he's going to be a fantastic player. Vontrell Williams. Vontrell's here now, and Vontrell looks the part, doesn't he? He's a big young man, and how much Vontrell weigh? How much do you weigh, Vontrell?
He was 340, basically shy of 340.
Okay, he's big enough. He's big enough.
320.
A terrific young man. He's already asked about doing some things, community service and those type of things. He wants to get involved in the community as well as play football. He's going to be a good one. C.J. Levine, safety for us. Andy Martell. Andy Martell, a very heavily recruited young man out of Richmond Foster. Blaze Moorhead. Blaze is here now. Blaze is a gray shirt. Blaze reminds me a little bit of the guy at number 11 for the Patriots. The guy that nobody could cover. The little quick in and out routes, you know. What's that guy's name? Edelman, yeah, Edelman. He's that type of guy. Small but very quick and active. Very good receiver. King Newton, son of Nate Newton. King is an outstanding defensive player. Zach Pear, Zach from Georgetown. Offensive lineman, Isaiah Santos. Isaiah from Spring, Isaiah is here now. Alex Snow, offensive lineman. Halen Stewart. Halen's a good story because we got him out of Florida. Coach Pop recruited him, and he's about a 260-pound fullback, can run. And the thing that sold me on him, what did Pop, backflip? He can stand still and do a backflip, 260 pounds. And even at my weight, I have trouble with that, Jerry. But he's an outstanding young man, good home, and he's going to be a really good player for us. Because we play with a fullback, and he can, we haven't had that type guy since Ocasio left, and he's going to be a good addition for us. This guy, Josiah Tuafa, you didn't see film of this guy. He's something. He is really something. He's a missile. He is a missile. And his dad, in fact, I didn't bring it. His dad could tear a phone book in half. And I was going to do that, but I didn't forget the phone book. I didn't bring it with me. Now, the one I'm going to tear in half is my hometown phone book. It's about like that. It's got 2 pages. But his dad's a special fan, a great family, and Josiah is just a terrific prospect. He's unbelievable. Corbin White, Corbin's here now. Here's his mother made the best fried chicken we had. It was good. It was good. Wonderful people. And Corbin, he's that big back we're looking for, and he's going to be an outstanding prospect. Kelby Wickline. Kelby came from Austin. His family live in Stillwater now. His dad's, I think, the offensive coordinator at Oklahoma State. Really good young prospect for us. He's here now. He's an unbelievable worker in the weight room, and very excited to watch him work. Shaq Webb's a tight end. Shaq's, we play with a tight end, so I kind of shot at him a little bit. Brett Winningham, running back from Pearland, and Clayton Woods, offensive center from Highland Park, great program, Highland Park, and Clayton's there with us now, and going to be a terrific prospect. So again, you've got all the bios of these young men, but I didn't want just to mention them briefly because they're really, we think, a terrific group, and again, we're excited to have them. I said, we got 13 enrolled now, And we needed that because we lost a large class. We got 13 enrolled now. And again, I can't say enough about the university. And as I said, it takes a village. And there's a big village involved in signing this class. I think it's an outstanding class. It's a class I think that's reached up a big another level than what we've played with, what we've had. But we need to. You know, we open up on with ESPN at Arizona. We got Oklahoma State, and we come back with Colorado State, and then of course Kansas State. So that's our first 4 games. So we've got a real challenge ahead of us there, but it's a good challenge. Our kids want to do that, and again, we're excited about the opportunity. Just to mention, we start spring on March 18th. Our spring game is in the Dome. It's April 18th at 1 o'clock. So we will have a lot of work to do before the spring game. I'll open it up to you. Questions for you?
Please raise your hand and wait for the microphone.
Thank you.
So Larry, how would you characterize again as far as a group? I know it's kind of hard to maybe paint everybody with a broad brush, but you like the speed and maybe the strength of this, you know, these kids pretty strong and fast?
I'll tell you, again, I looked at the tape again on these kids this morning, and the speed factor is unbelievable. We got a lot of speed. We really recruit speed. We got some size, but I think the big thing is speed and size. And I think, as you know, in football, and they have skills, but I think speed and size is the big thing I see. We've got a lot more speed than we've had. We've really upgraded there. I think all our coaches should tell you the same thing.
Coach, how significant was it for you to get that phone call last night from T.J. King? Because I know, you know, Louisiana Tech, the conference champion, was on him hard. And
how'd you know all that? You're doing your job, aren't you? Well, it's real significant because I was getting ready to fire Coach Rourke if we didn't sign the guy. So it was significant. No, I tell you, you know, I knew this young man. We didn't put a lot of pressure on him. He knew what we had. He wanted to be here. We didn't know that. And he had a lot of family but you know, they wanted to go to that area. They wanted to go to Louisiana Tech, stay in Louisiana, or go to Louisiana. And Coach Rourke did a fantastic job. That young man had a great relationship with Mom, and she came in on a visit, had a great time here, a great visit here. And how significant was it? I think it's very significant. I think he's an outstanding prospect. The guy I called last night, and he works. He's in school. He's in football. He works about 12 hours a day. I mean, the guy is doing everything. He's going to be really special once he just gets into football.
Coach, can you talk about the 2 quarterbacks you signed in this class and how you expect them to contribute either early or in the next few seasons coming up?
Well, I think we have really 2 outstanding quarterbacks. As I mentioned again, you see those games that we played, and you know the teams, the quarterbacks kind of in the final hunt for the big trophy. And again, I think we have outstanding quarterbacks here. I really like, you know, the quarterbacks we have here again now. We don't have enough. We got, as you saw, we played our 4th quarterback with a touchdown pass this year, and with some injuries here and there. So you got to have some quarterbacks. Hopefully, keep them healthy. But I think they'll be significant because I think they're good, very talented young men. And you look again at the guys that we're bringing in. I think they'll come in and compete. We kind of see how all these things work out. You know, when I was at Oklahoma State, we had a veteran quarterback and came in, we played a couple of games, and then we had a young quarterback named Mike Gundy ended up being the starter. So we don't care if they're freshmen or seniors or what. They'll come in and compete for a job. If they can get this thing done, they'll be in the mix. But I like them both a lot.
Hey, Coach. Considering that this is your biggest class in terms of depth and in terms of size of the actual players, should we expect a different style of play from the runners this season?
Different style of play.
Yes, sir.
We'll do some things differently. We'll analyze everything, and again, what we're doing good, we'll keep on doing good. And I think for the most part, we're doing some really good things. I think, but again, the style of play kind of depends on what we can do as we evaluate these guys with speed. And again, I think the key, again, we got to get the ball in the hands of the playmakers. Coach Brown does a great job of that. We'll definitely continue to do that. But I don't know if you'll notice a huge different style of play. But what we'll do, I did this as an offensive coach, and our offensive coaches are good, and our defensive staff. Hey, what are people doing? What are people doing? If you're going to just stay the same, you don't stay the same. You get better, you get worse. So we're not going to stay the same. We're going to make some improvements in some areas we need to. And it'll be a little bit different, but I don't know how much that you'll really notice it's different. We're not gonna go with wishbone, I guess, is the best way to say it. Probably should, I tell you, nobody can stop it anymore, Brad, nobody can play it. Yes, sir.
Coach, just wanted to ask about the offensive guys as a group that you have here in this class. Last year, it was a struggle a lot of the time on offense, and wanted to ask in terms of these guys that you signed, how many would you say have a chance to make an impact, right away?
Well,
out of this group.
Yeah, I don't have a number, and I'll say, and we did struggle some offense, but again, and you look, playing with a third quarterback at times, that's difficult. It's difficult, and I think a number one quarterback gets most of the work, a number two quarterback gets a little, and the third quarterback gets very, very little. And so again, I think the thing we've got to do is just get the quarterback situation, hopefully stay healthy there, and I think we'll be just fine. I look at what we have coming back on offense, and I like some of the wide receivers. I think an outstanding tight end, David Morgan coming back. You look at our running backs, Jarvion, Jarvion was hurt last year, so you look at him, I had explosive runs, and he is really a good football player. So I think we got a good nucleus coming back on offense. I think the big key is going to be our offensive line. We've got some players that get those guys, because I think that's a tough place to play, and if we do a good job there, I think those guys mature, I think we'll be fine. That's the one that concerns me right now, is doing a good job of those guys. If we do a good job of those guys, then our whole offense will look a lot better.
Coach, you were able to sign two of the top local prospects in the San Antonio area, Peyton Hall, Darryl Godfrey. Can you talk about your strategy to recruit San Antonio? You've had some struggles in the past, but landing these two guys could signal something good down the road, I think.
Well, I'll tell you, when Miami got really good, University of Miami got really good, Howard Snellenberger put a Berlin Wall around South Florida, and nobody else could get in. And Alonzo Highsmiths and Michael Irvins and those guys. But I think the thing that we've got to do, we recruit San Antonio, and we're going to continue to do it, and we work from San Antonio out. And I think we have a good relationship with the coaches here, and they know that. But I think the thing they're excited about, their players have an opportunity to stay here. Let's go to school and play college football on scholarship and get an education. But I think the thing we've got to continue to do that, and we want to do that. But I think, again, recruiting has changed from a standpoint. It's more global now. I mean, these guys can go from here. And I think I saw where I think a recruit Texas had ended up going to Michigan. Am I right when I say that? And so, those things are there. Plus, too, kids have a choice. Sometimes, just like you don't know the reason sometimes, but a kid may want to go to Houston, may want to go to Oklahoma State or wherever. And again, the thing that we don't want to do is say, well, the reason that they went there and went here because we don't have this, we don't have that. The things that we're working to get. But again, it's not, we just, we don't want to hear about our problems. I've always had a head coach I coached with Oklahoma State was talking about his corners. They were this, they were that, they're a little bit short. And Bear Bryant called him in and said, hey, poor workers complain about their tools. We don't want to complain about our tools. And I think he got the message on that one too. And we're going to recruit the very best we can. We're going to have great relationships with the coaches here. And I think we do that, we'll be just fine. We want to get them all.
All right, obviously when you recruit, you sell a school, you sell your program in the city. But boy, you mentioned that non-conference schedule. How big I've got to think if I'm a young man and want to try to latch on somewhere, you guys lost so many players. Can you talk about how maybe even that schedule is a good selling point? I mean, that's pretty good non-conference schedule, pretty rugged obviously, but pretty challenging for those kids, if they want to be on TV and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that's true. And I'm not sold on it yet, but I think they are.
You better hurry and get sold on it.
I said I better hurry and get sold on it, right? But no, seriously, I think it is a big selling point. Kids and I'll say in Texas, maybe everywhere, want to play the best and be the best. We're going to have to coach better and be better to compete against Arizona. You look at it last year, last year we threw an interception, get beat by 3? And Arizona at one time beat Oregon, and one time they were 10th in the country. So again, our kids will, as you said, Oklahoma State, they'll blow up and play. But again, I think it is a selling point. I sell it. We're going to open up with Arizona on ESPN. I think on a Thursday night. There'll be a lot of television sets watching that game, I tell you. And Now we gotta represent, and we do that, I think we'll be just fine. No, that is a good selling point, David, it really is.
I just wanted to ask you about two of the so-called higher profile guys, I guess you would say, in this group. A couple of the players that were listed as three-star recruits coming out of high school. I'm talking about Bontrell and Jabryce. And just get you to talk about those two and just kind of what you see in them and what are their prospects.
Well, again, if Bontrell walked through that door, he'd start him today. He's what you're supposed to look like. And a great young man, just been very impressed with him, his work habits, and how he's gravitated to the players, and just enjoying being here. And he's going to be outstanding. Again, as I said earlier, he's already asked about doing some things in the community and really representing the team and him and so on. So he's got something about him. I think he's going to be special. And then who did you ask about?
Jabryce.
Oh, Jabryce. Jabryce is kind of what we haven't had at wide receiver. He's a big kid. He's got speed, and I just watched the highlight of him this morning. And he's a dynamic player. I think he's going to be special. I really do. I use that word special so much, but I think he will. He'll get a chance for sure. And he's a junior college player. He's come here to play. I mean, it's not like, oh, let's see how it goes. He's come here to be a player.
Any more questions?
Coach, I have a question from a fan. They are curious about the number of junior college players you signed in this recruiting cycle. It's a little bit more than what you've signed in the past. Is that something specific to this class because of the numbers, or is that something we could expect to see in future signing classes?
No, I think a little bit because of the numbers. I think we signed 6, and that's a lot for us. It really is. But again, we do our homework and we have to check character and those type of things. I think we got some really good players and good kids, and that is a little high end for us. But I think two things. One, we needed some maturity. We lost a lot of older kids, obviously, and we need some maturity. I think those kids can give it to us. Plus, they're good players. And again, the thing we're going to have to do now, just to make sure, just kind of like starting over, make sure guys understand about being on time and work ethic and those type of things. And what I've seen so far from the feedback I've gotten from the weight room and so on is these guys got a good thing going.